In the ERLC community, there are loads and loads of talented people, and many of which always post a lot of good suggestions about features that they want to be added to Emergency Response Liberty County. So in this video, I'm going to be going through them, talking about if I think they will be added, how good I think they are, and of course, letting you know my thoughts on the suggestions themselves. So if you do enjoy it, make sure you drop a like and also subscribe, but let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first one is very interesting. In fact, the first two are for the DOT team. So this is the first one, and wow, this is very exciting. So you can see that this is the DOT tow truck that we already have in game with the DOT base. I think that is in the background. However, on the back of the tow truck we have a little crane or a tow hook or whatever it is, a crane attachment, and this allows for bigger vehicles to be put on to the tow truck or just to lift things onto the tow truck, even if it's like not a vehicle, for example, which obviously would be silly because they're always going to be vehicles on a tow truck. But yes, very interesting. Now I think this would be very cool for ERLC. However, I think it would bring a few problems and issues. I think for starters, the tow truck would have to be extended a little bit. Don't know if they've extended it in this Photoshop image. I think they have. I think in this image the tow truck has been extended so that they can have room for this little crane here and the tow truck doesn't lose any of the length on the back of it. I think if they were to add this crane, they would need to do that. So very nice details from whoever did Photoshop this. Now I don't know who did this, I don't know who posted it, but if it was you, then well done. You've done a very good job, and of course some very good suggestions. And of course I've posted a very good suggestion. If I think this will be added, I don't know. I think personally it won't be. I don't know why, but in the ERLC community, loads of people always talk about adding things to the DOT team, but in reality no one really uses the DOT team. Well, not that I really know of much anyway, not as much as the police or fire or civilian team or even some roleplay jobs as well. So yeah, I mean, very cool. It is very cool and interesting, of course, but I'm not sure this will be added because we already have two different types of tow trucks. I don't know how they will make this work. It would almost be too difficult for them to do, or too much of a waste of time anyway. But yeah, very cool suggestion nevertheless. Let's move on to the second one, which like I said is also for DOT. Now this one is by Gabrielle Gaming RY. Very nice truck here. Now it's for the DOT team. They're using one of the vehicles that is already in the game as well. However, it's just got a slightly different back of it attached. So you can see it's got one of these little crane things. So I honestly don't know why we don't have one of these for ERLC. I think it would be one of like the coolest vehicles that they could add to the game, in my opinion, to be honest, because you would actually fix traffic lights using this. I think it would be really cool if they add these so that when there's a broken traffic light, for example, you go to it and you can actually fix the traffic light by going up high to the traffic light and fixing it up there rather than just using a little box on the ground. Maybe, I don't know, let me know your thoughts on this. Again, it's a DOT livery. There's not really much, again, it's a DOT vehicle, there's not really too much I could say about it. I think it would be very cool. I think it would be a bit difficult for them to add, but like I said, I think it would be very nice if it was added. The Photoshop here is also very good as well, so well done Gabrielle, however you want to say it, well done to you. Now on to the third one that I think is very interesting. So it's by DevTV2 and it's crash detection features on your phone. When you crash, this will pop up on your phone, and it says it looks like you've been in a crash. iPhone will trigger emergency SOS if you don't respond, and you can cancel it or call emergency SOS. This is a real life feature, I think, and it's also on like Apple Watches and stuff. Like if you fall over and you have an Apple Watch on, if you have it set, then it will bring, or it will come up with like a thing. It will detect if you fell, and on your watch it will say like, do you want to call emergency services or something, and you have like 5 seconds to press no, or there's like a yes button or something. I don't really know how it works. I don't use my Apple Watch anymore, but yeah, it's very cool and very nice, and it would be very cool to have in ERLC, of course, although I don't know how it would really work. I think it would be very cool to have if like it flicked up on your phone, like for example if you crash, like a notification came up like acting as your phone. It said this, and you can either press yes to contact emergency services or no. But I feel like this would be quite hard for them to detect when someone has been in a crash in ERLC, and I also think that they will always be going off because we know how people drive in ERLC, so I think it would always just be getting set off, and it will kind of ruin the police team a little bit and the roleplay that goes on there. But very cool to be added either way. Moving on to the next one. This is by ZDoctor001. Initially you might not see what's wrong with this one, but if you take a closer look, we have these little things here. It's like a parking ticket, but it actually locks up your wheel. So I think this will be good again for the DOT team, for the tow truck, because when you call a tow truck, a lot of the time in ERLC they don't don't always like come in time, and you can just respawn your car, a different car, and then the car will go away. So a lot of the time they don't even get time to get there, park it or reverse it, lower the bed, and then attach the car if it's been impounded, like before someone just respawns and takes it away. You know what I mean? So I think this would be really, really cool if it actually like locked it in place until a tow truck came and picked up on it. Maybe had like a 10 or 15 minute time limit, so if no one did come, it just respawned and it wasn't sat there for hours, maybe causing more lag to the server. Yes, very, very nice feature. I do like this. I think it would be nice to actually like sight people and find people and properly tow vehicles for parking in the wrong place. Of course, let's move on to the next one, which is the final DOT one on this list. I promise not really too much to talk about here. It's just a little box on the back of the DOT. I've seen loads of people suggest this. The same fire vehicle that they recently added, but just in a DOT livery, would be very, very nice. So yeah, they use these in real life to store more things, I guess. Very, very nice, very unique livery. But let's move on to the next one. I also don't know who this is by the way. I do apologize. But yes, we have this one by XES 2012. So I hope 2012 is not when you were born, because you shouldn't be on Discord. But beside the point, we have these radios here. So very, very cool. So this is very similar to the current radio we have in game, except it has slightly different things. So of course this is the normal radio we have now, which says on scene, en route, give location, request backup, and the panic. However, they've added these two arrows at the top, which you can switch to get more actions, and it says available, traffic stop, in pursuit, and request transport. I think this is a very, very nice feature. I think one of the best, and also one of the most likely to get added in this entire video. There is no reason why they couldn't do this, and it would just save people a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it would make the game very much better. Of course, for the police team, the roleplay would be a lot better. So yeah, I really, really like this one. Hopefully it gets added soon. I don't really see why they won't add it. But yeah, let's move on to the final one. So the final one I have seen a lot of talk about, and it's custom sirens. So private server settings. So you'll be able to customize it in the private server settings. So of course, this is very, very useful for people that use like UK liveries, for example, like UK private servers, or German, or things that aren't American, for example. It would be nice to be able to change the sirens to that country, and it would just add more personalization to that exact private server specifically. However, whilst I do think this would be very, very good, I think it would be overused a huge amount. People would type in random audio effects, like they're typing like the weirdest thing, like some, I don't know, just some random racing car sound maybe, or like a song or something, I don't know. But people would use weird things for sirens, and I don't think it would work out too well. And there's no way of moderating really what sound effect it is, unless they had a system similar to the liveries where you had to actually like submit your thing to get approved. So maybe you had to like submit to them like an ID, and they'll listen to it and either approve it or de-approve it, disapprove her, whatever the word is, if it's not good enough or it's not roleplay, I guess, for the private server or for the game even. But yeah, very, very nice features. Really, really like this one. Again, I don't know who posted this, but it is a very, very nice feature. I think it would be cool if they added this. I don't see why they wouldn't too much. Like I said, it would just be another thing for them to manage and moderate somehow and think of a way to implement. So all of these suggestions here are very, very awesome. Of course, shout out to this dude who is a fan in the game. Spelled that wrong, but it doesn't matter. And of course, shout out to all of you for watching the video as well. If you did enjoy, please do make sure you drop a like and also subscribe. Make sure you check out everything else from the description as well, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.